Hello and welcome to the Slingshot channel. Well, if this is the Slingshot channel, why do I have a gun on my hip? Well, today it does have to do with slingshots. Let me explain why. Alright, I make slingshots and I've been doing this for a long time, even though I no longer post many videos about slingshots, since I don't want to repeat myself over and over. But I still love it and I still make lots of slingshots and spend a lot of time shooting them. But I also love guns, and I'm into guns recently very much because they gave me a fantastic license for a gun expert, so I can pretty much buy any gun I want to except the military grade stuff. In any case, I love revolvers too. And I have several revolvers. Specifically, I love the single action ones. Somehow the 6 guns fascinate me, and also the 5-shot versions. We come to that later. Now this, of course, is a shopkeeper peacemaker, and it actually is like it has this Birdshead handle. And the Birdshead handle is completely different to how modern guns work, or how the grip of a modern gun is shaped. A modern gun like this Smith & Wesson 30-shot 22 Magnum M&P has this shape like here. So this actually rests between your index finger and your thumb, and actually to prevent the recoil, to catch the recoil, it will just press against it, giving you firm control about this here. Now a single action revolver is shaped differently, as you probably know. Alright, this is a CO2 version of a regular Peacemaker model. I actually like it. It's made by Weber and it's in 43 caliber, so it looks really realistic, I think. But of course it's only shooting CO2. In any case, of course this has this distinct round handle here, and this is made so that it can climb up in your hand. And by doing this against the resistance of your fingers holding on tight, it actually eats up a lot of energy, allowing you to shoot these guns pretty comfortably, since also there is no hard object that can actually hit your hand. So they roll up, yes, but it is not painful at all, and it does give you control. I can show this to you by shooting with my biggest single action wheel gun that I have. Yes, this is the Magnum Research BFR, chambered in the 45-70 caliber. I actually had it shortened by my gunsmith, and so that normally it comes like with a 10-inch barrel, and I wanted the shorter barrel. So I asked him to make it as short as possible without changing the ejector here. So this was kind of the limit. I like it more this way, and I also love the fireball that comes out of it. And it also has that shaped handle that climbs up, even though BFR uses rubberized handles to give you more purchase on here. So this actually lets me shoot it pretty comfortably, even though it's a pretty mighty caliber. Okay, let's do a test shot. Whoa! It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. And as you can see in this high-speed recording, it climbs up nicely in my hand, just the way like it should. Okay, the Birdshead handle here from this shopkeeper gun. This is actually shaped a little bit different because it's kind of in between. As you see, it still has this round part, but it also has a slight stopper here that keeps it up from rolling too much. And I'm not actually sure if that was intentionally designed for it, but this actually gives you both advantages of the rolling up, but it's not rolling up too far, since of course this is 45-40 caliber, so it's not anywhere near the kick that you get with the 45-70. But it allows you to fire a second round quicker. Now this is of course a cowboy gun, so it's supposed to be shootable with just one hand, since the other hand will typically be, needed for steering the horse, if that is the right term, which it probably isn't. Anyway, let's fire around. So this is actually very comfortable. And actually it makes it possible to shoot rather. Yeah. Okay, fair enough, but what does this have to do with slingshots? Let me explain. So this is the ram hammer slingshot frame. the latest one I designed, and it's actually like a race model. As you see, it has this super low fork and this ergonomically shaped handle. And this actually is the green one. There is also a black one, and this is of course the lightest rubber band that we sell for it. But the principle is the same as for the modern handgun. So as you can see, it has the same kind of shape here that gives you purchase in your hand, so you can actually control the frame easier. So it's the same principle. This is specifically important when you use heavy bands, like this is the black version. It only comes in these two choices. And this is a triple layer band set, so it's much more powerful. So when you draw this out, that's already some kind of resistance. So you want to be able to hold on to this strongly. So now I thought, why can't we try to apply the same handle principle that's used on the single action revolvers also for slingshots? So I decided to make one. Now of course for a handle like this you need depth. So we needed a thick piece of wood to start with, and I didn't have one, so I decided to make it by layering and laminating a wooden plank. So I bought this piece of oak, well-dried oak. As you see, of course, I already used parts of it, but it was like a longer plank when I started. And this, of course, is thick already, but not thick enough to shape the design. Also, I typically don't trust board cut slingshots. Typically, I start with a fork, because a fork has this grown structure that makes it pretty much unbreakable in your slingshot. Whereas these, of course, have fiber direction, and it is kind of dangerous to make a U-shaped slingshot fork from it, because at some point the fiber direction will probably tend to break along the fibers. So what you typically do is you make your own plywood basically by sawing out the same frame a few times and then gluing them at each other. But when you saw them out, you rotate always a little bit, like 45, 90 degree rotation, so that the fiber direction is actually well supported throughout the final laminated piece. So this is what I came up with. As you can see, it maintains this bird's head shape, even though of course it's now adapted for a full hand. Whereas here, of course, you have the index finger on the trigger, so you need less space. Other than that, I really tried to make the shape very much similar to the Colt. So on a slingshot, of course, it's vice versa. You have the full weight just before you shoot, when the band is fully drawn out. So when you do this, actually the slingshot frame will be canted backwards towards the shooter, almost so that there is no fork left. And then only when you release, like so, then it will climb forward. So it's doing the exact opposite as on the handgun, but that doesn't mean that the principle is not working, because it is. It also has the advantage that it will stop the bands from hitting your fingers, since when you release it, it climbs forward, automatically catching the band on the fork, so it's not hitting your fingers, which can be quite painful, specifically if you use heavy bands and lightweight ammo. Okay, out here in sunlight I can probably show the slingshot to you in a little greater detail. First of all, as you can see, it's just polished wood, so this is not lacquered or something. It's just oiled and polished oak wood. And here you can clearly see how the fork is actually consisting of two different layers, and there's a third layer in the cap here. So, and you can clearly see that the fiber direction is different here on these, because this was rotated, and therefore we have absolute stability here. You can also see that I achieved full stability by this, so the breaking points are actually well covered by thick wood, so this is going to hold on just fine. Yeah, and you can see that these horns here are really only there for the looks. They don't touch my hand. So this is a 60mm steel ball, which is well suitable for the double band set. On a single layer I'd go to maybe a 12 or 13mm steel ball. On a triple layer I'd want 20mm. Okay, so again, you shoot this like so, and then when you release, it just snaps to the front, like automatically. On the single layer, if you want to go up, and so you start using the single layer so that you can control it, and when you master it, then you go to a double band set or a triple band set later on. I recommend using rubber balls because they have the thickness to give you the right feel for it, whereas they are so lightweight that you can easily shoot them with a single layer band set at high speed. So as you can see, you can draw this out really, really far. And of course the impact is much lower. Now on the triple layer it gets serious. Then we're using the 20mm steel ball. Note this is also a shorter band set that I've designed so that I can just not fully draw it out, giving me a little bit more control about the bands. Triple layer band sets in butterfly, this is a thing that you really need to practice, otherwise it can be dangerous. Okay, and as you now see, of course now it is important that I can control it all the way. Okay, and as you can see, you know, this is like the maximum draw. You can't draw this out any further. And this already is far more than usually the slingshot shooters go to the end, to the corner of your mouth. And I'm already drawing this out to like a half butterfly. This gives you enormous power. Oops, only nicked it. That was more satisfying. Okay, so what do I think about this new slingshot design? First of all, I think it's rather pretty, and I'm happy that I made it, and I love that wood. I just love the character and the gloss of that wood, really dense oak. But I think from a shooter's point of view, the ram hammer just maxes out everything. It maxes how well you can control it. It maxes the amount of strain on your wrist. This is a war slingshot. Not for war, of course. So the Birdshead slingshot. Let me know what you think about it in the comments down below. Otherwise, I hope you enjoyed this video, because that's it for today. Thanks and bye-bye.